Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back, everybody. It's Zack Childress. I'm your real estate coach. We're live, and that means that if things go wrong today, we're going to have to improvise and keep on rolling. So come on board. Come on, come on, come on. This is the Dig Deeper Show. We have a very, very special guest. You've been getting the messages from my Instagram. You've been getting them from the emails. You've been getting all of it to come here to see what's going on, because one of the biggest topics that we get constantly is, hey, I want to get better financing for my deals, but my credit is in the tank. Well, that's why we've done this. That's why we're going to build a series out of this, so that you not just understand what you need to do next, but really what's the importance of credit? How do you understand credit? And what are the credit factors and history? And how do you really look at those? We're going to break it up into sections. So I'm excited to be doing this. Listen, if you're brand new to our show, welcome, welcome. Like I said, my name's Zack Childress. I am your real estate coach, and we do this show every Wednesday at 1:30 Eastern time zone. So welcome to your Dig Deeper Show. Hey, also remember, if you're not checking out our real estate investing talk show, that's every Tuesday at 1:30. And believe it or not, it's in the field again tomorrow with me. We're going to go out in the field. We're actually going to go look at a deal that one of my coaching students has acquired, and we're going to walk through it tomorrow. Remember, that's on our YouTube channel. So you got to make sure you go to REISuccessacademy.com/YouTube, and you got to subscribe to that channel. Click the little bell next to it, and make sure you turn your notifications on in your phone so that you know every time I'm in the field and I'm looking at deals. And so if you've got questions, you want to be on there. So, hey, listen, if you're just joining us, say hi. Welcome to the show. I'd like to know if you're brand new. If you're new, tell me you're new. We've got a great community here, and everyone would be interested in hearing. Diamond, welcome, Diamond. Angel, my New Yorkers in the house. David from Pennsylvania. Steve, hey, Zack and Kelly, excited about today's Dig Deeper. I mean, I can't tell you how many of you are excited about this show. This is a hot topic. This is a hot topic. I'm hot about this one, man. I'm just hot. I'm excited. I hope you're as excited as I am. Good morning, team. Good morning, Mona. Don Fowler says, hello, Zack. Let's learn something. Well, Don, do we not always learn something on these shows? I mean, that's my question to you. Jonathan says, hey, Zack. There's Jonathan. You guys, we're going to be meeting Jonathan tomorrow in the field. That's right. You're going to get to meet Jonathan. We're going to talk to him, see one of the deals he's got. He's on fire right now. He's actually even got a portfolio from a burned out landlord. That's what it takes, guys. Get a little coaching, man. Life changes. Changes for everybody. Changes for you. Changes for me. And that's what it's about. So let's see here. We're going to get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. But I'd love to hear any more comments you got. Where are you from? What are you doing? Type in, I'm with you, Zack. If you can hear me and you can see me and you're with me. If you're with me, type it in. I'm with you, Zack. Manny says, hey, welcome, everyone. Everyone needs this My First Deal Playbook. Let's rock and roll. That's right, My First Deal Playbook. Speaking of that, let's run this little ad real quick if we've got that queued up. Justin, why you need to be listening to what I have to say.
Zack has recently written a brand new best-selling book called My First Deal Playbook, and he's actually giving away 1,000 copies for free. Now, if you're interested in becoming financially free through real estate or adding real estate to your investment portfolio, I urge you to grab a copy of this book right now. He's covering the full cost of the book. All you need to do is pick up a small shipping fee, and he'll send it right out to you. Once these copies are gone, the retail price will be $19.95, so make sure you claim your copy now before they're all gone. I hope you enjoy the book and get a lot of value out of it. Goodbye for now.
Here you go, guys. Get the book. If you don't have the book, get the book. Your first deal is right here. It only is, you're one deal away from reaching your success. The first one's always seems like the hardest, but once you do it, the rest come easy as long as you have the right systems in place. So lots of people saying, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. Good, you guys are on board. We got lots of people coming on. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. Love it. So guys, here's the deal for today, right? Well, obviously I'm here to help you. I want to answer your questions. But our Dig Deeper today is all about bringing on an expert, Kelly, and she's going to help you guys understand what this is all about. We're going to be able to ask her questions. So I implore you, if you have questions, type them in. We may not get to all of them, but we will try to talk to our expert today. I'm going to dig deeper into, what she does and how she's been able to put all this together to help people, and how it's going to. That's what's important. And so I ask all you guys to participate in that. I love the fact that you guys are making this a priority for you today to be on here. So listen, if you're just joining us, before I bring Kelly on, just know you're in the right spot. This is your Wednesday Dig Deeper show. We do it every Wednesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone. We have our Tuesday Real Estate Investing Talk show every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone. We also have our In the Field with Zack, where I'm out looking at properties. That's every other Thursday. It's on our YouTube channel. Tomorrow will be the last time that we do it live with Facebook and YouTube. Moving forward, it will just be on our YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, reisuccessacademy.com/YouTube. Subscribe to that channel, click the little bell, make sure you get your notifications, and join my Instagram. I'm always on there shooting little quick short videos about what's going on in life, and that's Zack_Childress. So with that said, I'd love to get some more questions coming in. If you guys have any questions, you need to be typing them in right now for credit, okay? So with that said, let's bring Kelly on and see if we can get her on the screen so everybody can say hi. Oh, hey, Kelly. Let's do a split screen if you don't mind. So we have Kelly on with us, so everyone say hi to Kelly. Everybody tell Kelly hi and hello. She's over in the wonderful state of Georgia. Kelly has, me and Kelly go way, 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 way back. From our high school days. So that's the beauty of it. I was me and Kelly went to high school together. Now you can't be telling them about all the stuff I did in high school, okay?
Same goes for you.
But one day I'm scrolling through the internet and I'm on Facebook and I see Kelly posting all these posts about people she's helping, and I see what she's doing and I'm like, this girl is out here changing people's lives too. And I thought, that's the same path I'm on. It was really good to reconnect with an old school mate. And I reached out to her and I said, Kelly, we really need to talk about what you're doing. And so I got on the phone with her and realized, like, she's got some things figured out and she's really helping a lot of people. And so some of my staff here started working with her and started seeing crazy results. And I thought, man, Kelly, you're doing some amazing things. We even brought her out to one of our events to help some people there. And it was just empowering to know that, that somebody I went to school with, that somebody has mastered a skill set, like myself, when it comes to real estate and business, and it was really good to reconnect. But what was more powerful is our entire message. If you've been following me at all, you know my message is about creating ripples. Changing someone's life that then changes someone else's life, and that's exactly where Kelly was at when I refound her again. She was like she was lost or something. So we got lots of people saying hi, Kelly. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Share now public. Okay, I did that. Something's going on with this. Maybe I'm in the admin feed. I'm not sure what I'm in. I'm trying to read all these questions coming through. I love Kelly. She's amazing, incredible at what she does. Angel says, hello, Kelly. Good morning, Kelly. Michelle Thomas says, hey, Kelly. Don says, hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Hello, hello, hello. All right. We got them all coming through. So they're excited to have you here, Kelly.
I'm excited to be here.
I know you are. So here's what's going to happen today, guys, just so that we're all on the same page. I'm trying to, get the questions so that I can read the questions to Kelly, but we're also on Skype. So as you all know, Skype could be good, it could be bad. So So hang with me on this, because if for some reason we start getting, a bad signal and it gets a little too aggravating to keep Skype up, then I'm just going to call her from my phone, and you guys will be able to listen to her, and we'll ask questions and all that good stuff. So, let me start with this. And remember, guys, ask questions. Bring them in, be part of this. We're in the Dig Deeper series of credit acknowledgement, really. Like, what do we need to know about credit, and why is it such a big impact on us, and what is it preventing us from doing, and what are some of the myths about it? There's so much to learn when it comes to what credit really is. It's like this this secret world out there, right? And it's this world of unknowns that we all just well, that's my score, that's my score. But it's so important to us because it's what they grade us on. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Kelly?
Absolutely. It is. I can't say how important it is. There's so many factors that go into it, and it literally affects everything in your life. So much more than just how much money you can save. And how low of an interest rate you can get. There's so many more things that are just as much as important.
So, sorry, my battery was flashing at me that it was going dead. So, I want you to do me a favor for everyone, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kind of give them a little bit of a background on you. We don't have to go all the way back to high school, but what was it that you were doing in your life or trying to achieve in your life that just one day you woke up and was like, I got to fix my credit? I mean, what was that moment like, or what was that? Maybe you tried other things, I don't know. And maybe, you didn't get what you wanted, but what led you to the path of, saying you wanted to get your credit fixed, maybe trying to do it with others, or then eventually just saying, hey, look, if I'm going to be great at this, I got to become my own expert. Well, what was that like? Walk me through that.
Well, divorce was not kind to my credit. It took a huge tank, and I went to go get a car and was denied.
Ooh.
Yes, denied a car. It was probably the most humiliating moment in my entire life. And after I cried for probably a week, I decided to. The guy had referred me to someone that he had used, and so I went to him and said, "Help me, please! Help me, please!" Gave him a whole lot of money to fix my credit, and nothing happened.
Nothing.
I was completely scammed. Nothing. No. 6 months later. Nothing had been changed at all. So I thought, you know what, lesson learned, it's fine. Let me go to a law firm. Let me go to someone that's, that obviously knows the law side of it and that can definitely help me. They were very well known. Signed up for them, and 2-3 months later, nothing. Nothing. So now I'm looking at almost a year of pouring my money into all of these different places, and they're doing absolutely nothing. There was no change on any end. I thought, you know what? I did this myself. This is crazy, which was probably the stupidest thing.
Can you zoom out?
That I could have done, because I was a busy mom, a lot of free time, came home, literally poured myself into all of the information online. The mountains of information. It was so confusing. I was always overwhelmed. I didn't know what was accurate. I didn't know what was legal. I didn't know where to start, where to begin. I was a nervous wreck when I would send off the dispute letters, and it was super stressful. It was it's not something I ever want to have to do again, and thank goodness that I won't have to. So I gave up.
Right.
I quit.
But you didn't really quit. You didn't really give up. You just.
Oh, I can't hear you, Zach.
Oh. Sorry. What do you need me to do? Can you hear me now? Can you not hear me at all?
Nothing.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Can I sign language to you? Can you hear me now? Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I have no idea what happened then. Can you hear me over there, Justin?
Yeah, you're just fine.
You can hear me? Can you guys hear me on Facebook? She's like giving the pouty face. I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? I can hear you, Zach. Yeah, I need Kelly to hear me, though. Can you hear me?
No.
I don't know what happened. Everybody else can hear me.
Yeah, it looks like Skype might be giving us some problems.
What about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Wow. Okay, guys, that's the beauty of Skype, right? We never know when it's going to be buggy or twist around or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to see if she can hear me. If she can't hear me, I'm going to end up calling her. She's got a lot of great information. We can hear you and Kelly. Yes, you guys can hear me and Kelly can hear me, or you can hear Kelly, but for some reason Kelly's not picking me up anymore. Let me just check my audio connections. Let me check that. Test 1, 2. Let me check that. Let me check all this. Let me check this. Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to call you, okay? All right, I'm going to call her. We're going to hang up on Skype. Well, we gave it a good run, guys. Let me just pick up the phone and call her. Yeah, we're gonna play a quick video and then we'll jump back with her on the line.
I've been to another couple of workshops myself. I have to admit, Zach brings a lot more knowledge, information, and the experience that he brings into this workshop is phenomenal. It's life-changing.
This is actually my first training of anything in real estate, and I already feel like I have a step ahead of someone that would be starting new at another workshop. Just so informative. Any questions that anyone has, Zach is there to answer them. So, I've learned a ton, much more than I thought I would.
My favorite thing is probably the family atmosphere that they have here. Zach is very much a family guy. He talks about his family a lot and is very known among his coaches as well, just how inclusive he is of everybody.
It's been very exciting to meet a lot of people and also to see how powerful Zach's programs are. So if you're thinking about coming, this is a great place to get some of the bottom line best advice.
Not as much of a leap of faith when you see Zach and you see all the other people that have been through the same workshop and their success. It's a little more comforting seeing that, and it makes it a lot easier to make that leap.
It's been an eye-opening experience. I'm a skeptic. I walked in here a skeptic because I've been through these events before. To listen to them, and it's a different vibe here. You feel that Zach is the real deal. He has the background where most of these so-called gurus are here to just throw product at you. His system's more hand-on. Thank you for the excitement. Thank you for revitalizing that in me.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for caring.
Thanks, Zach. You're the man.
Great going, Zach. You're truly changing lives more than you actually know you are.
Hey guys, hey, we're back. Thank you for that show. I'm going to try a few things. We are obviously not in a position to, use Skype, nor are we in a position to get my phone to work. So this is kind of one of those scenarios where when you go live, you never know what the case is going to happen. And so I'm not quite sure what actually happened, but we are going to try and I'm just gonna pull the whole thing. I'm gonna put her on speaker. Can you hear me, Kelly?
I can.
Well, looky there. So guys, here's my question to you. I might have to just hold this phone up to this mic like this. I'll go old school. Technology doesn't work these days. So here's what I've got for you. I just want to make sure you guys can hear her and hear me, because I've got some important questions that she needs to answer. And there are a lot of those questions are from you guys. So I'm going to pull your questions back up. Let's see here. Let me get over to the Facebook page. Let me just make sure you guys can hear her. So Kelly, say hi to everybody one more time.
Hi, can you hear me?
Awesome. I can hear you very clear now. I can hear you really good now. So, the beauty of going live. Okay, let's see. I can hear. Susan says I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Kelly, get on the phone, they said. I got her on the phone. Can you hear her? Oh, is this a mic that needs to be for the phone right here? Justin, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you can just set it right there.
Okay. All right, Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, you guys tell me if you can hear Kelly. We're moving on the fly right now. Talk to me, people. Yes, David says I can hear her. Ah, look at her, moving on the fly. Yay. I can hear you both, Steve says. That is amazing. I love it, I love it, I love it. We move fast around here. We move super fast around here. We got backups for backups. We got backups for backups. So where we left off is that Kelly was talking about how she was at a point of giving up. And listen, and that's the struggles a lot of us go through, right? Is the give up syndrome. Like, I just can't do it. I'm going to give up. And but you really didn't give up, did you, Kelly?
I did not. My husband and I had an opportunity to start our own business, and I was completely unwilling to let this dream pass us by. So I knew that I had to do more, and as you said, I had to dig deeper. So I researched and researched. I spent tons of time looking into different options. I stumbled upon corporate credit, and I learned quite a bit about that. I ended up getting involved in this extremely elite group of entrepreneurs that were far beyond their time as far as knowledge and wisdom went. And we really, all of us, just we studied and we worked together, and we tried to crack the code of business credit and personal credit. One of the guys that was inside the group with me ended up being a very dear friend of mine, and he did it. He figured it out. He understood how things were verified and how it all worked, and he was gracious enough to share all of his knowledge with me. And so we began working on my credit profile, and within the first 30 days, I was assigned to improvements. And within 3 to 4 months, I had taken my 500 score to back up to 800 once again. So,
boom.
Yes.
I love that.
So I felt like I owed it to my friends and my family and to the rest of the world to really share what we had found and what he had shared with me. So it was, I was obligated to make a difference in people's lives, just like he had done in mine.
So here is the biggest thing that I want people to understand is that it wasn't like you just go out and hire some little company that you pay $40, $50, $80 a month to fix your credit. You actually had to put a ton of time and energy, and really you were fortunate enough to find a kind of a selective group that had kind of mastered this, and from what you're saying, they kind of brought you in and shared with you these techniques.
Yes. I was overwhelmed with how gracious and how knowledgeable they were, and yes, so it wasn't a company. I tried that, and it didn't work.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of people get misconceptions. They go, oh, this is cheap, I'll just hire this. And the reality is they're basically just walking into an office with 80 people that basically don't know you personally, don't even have the attention to really know who you are. They're just running processes and could care less about who you really are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're a number, you're a piece of paper. They don't know what your situation is. They don't know what's happened. They don't know your goals. It's really blind leading the blind at that point.
Gotcha. So, all right. So, and that's an amazing story, Kelly. I mean, it really is when you think about, you know, because you were where a lot of people are when they go try to fix their credit. Most people don't even know where to start. First off, second off, it's completely confusing out there when you start trying. I mean, you could spend 6, 8, 12 months just trying to figure out what you need to do and how to do it right and how to do it legally. You know, that's another side.
Yes. 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 There are, the information is overwhelming. Even trying to figure out which dispute letters to use. You know, people say, oh, there's all these things on the internet. I can just have my own dispute letter. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, deciphering which one to use out of the thousands that are on there is a challenge of its own. And yes, and there is a legal aspect to all of this. So you've got to be careful. You really, you need to know what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, I love that story, guys. That's a dig deeper story right there. And I just wanted to get you guys clear on that. But let's move into a couple other things. I mean, we got about another 30 minutes here. So let's talk about some things. Guys, if you have some questions, I'm seeing some of them come in. We're going to ask those. But let's talk about the importance of good credit. Like, walk them through some things that why they should be like, you know, oh, I'm not going to worry about it, but why they should be worried about it. What are some of the importance of good credit?
Okay, so good credit is far more than just your ability to get a low interest rate. I think that's one of the main things that obviously people think about when they do consider good or bad credit is the amount of money that they could save. However, I'm not positive people understand the sheer magnitude of exactly how much money we're talking about that they're going to save. So over a lifetime, good credit can save you up to $300,000. Yeah, $300,000. Okay,
$300,000.
Investing.
That's crazy.
Yes, crazy. So, but aside from the money that it could save you, we're also looking at, this is based on your reputation. Your credit is going to define your character, okay? So many people are going to be looking at your credit report and trying to decipher what kind of person you are, if you're trustworthy or not. Now, these people are prospective employers. Okay, so, you know, not only is it going to save you some money, but your bad credit could also keep you from getting your dream job or landing a job altogether. Landlords, you know, people say, oh, I don't need the mortgage. I'm not going to do the mortgage thing. I rent. Well, nowadays, landlords are actually requiring a certain amount of credit score, a level of credit score, before they'll even give you an application. So we're not saying that you're approved. You won't even get the application until they know that you are above a certain credit score.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's true with like even people with going out and getting regular jobs. There's some of them I've been hearing about are pulling people's credits as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Prospective employers, landlords, insurance companies are even looking at your credit score to see how likely you are to file a complaint and file an insurance claim. So it's a big deal. And
so let me
even if your employer doesn't do it, or if the landlord doesn't do it, or the insurance company does it, what are the main reasons why people in marriages or relationships fight? Because of money. So even if you're in a relationship or you're searching for a relationship, people look at what kind of partner you're going to be, what kind of financial stability that you can provide for that relationship. So, I mean, we're looking at costing you your job, costing you your home, costing, whether you're not going to get insurance or not, and whether or not, if you're going to meet somebody and be able to get a relationship.
Right.
So it's a big deal.
So let's go back to something you said earlier. I want to make sure everybody got this and was clear on this. When you have bad credit versus good credit, the importance of good credit, you said, was how much in potential savings with good credit?
$300,000.
That's incredible. I mean, we don't think about it, like we just don't think about like what 2 or 3 or even 4% interest adds up to over time when you have, a not so great credit score.
Right. It's astonishing. It really is.
Wow. Okay, so let's move on to another big question, which is understanding your credit. So a lot of people, they look at their score and they know there's how many different bureaus score me, but they don't really know what they're looking at, right? Like, what is that number, and how do you understand your credit? So help me understand that.
Okay. So a credit report is literally a consumer's financial report card. Okay, so the three big bad wolves, the 3 agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, basically what these agencies do is they collect all of your information and compile it into a report. All right, and these companies use it to determine your credit worthiness. They use certain factors that calculate the score. It's going to range from 350 to 850, and that's going to place you into a category on determining what rate you are going to get if you are going to get a loan at all.
Wow. So how would so go a little bit more deeper into that. So if they're looking at that now, they're like, hey, this is but what is it that if we're going to understand credit, and guys, just remember, this is part 1 of part 2. We don't have enough time in one call to get through all of it. So we're going to really just kind of take this in steps with you guys. I want to answer some of the questions that you're going to be having, but I really need you guys to follow a process. Like, what's the importance of it? One of my questions was understanding it. So when they're looking at it, what does it really mean? And the third one I wanted to cover today was the credit factors and history. Like, when I'm looking at that, what does that number mean, and what really creates that number? And so, Kelly, give them some ideas of, not just understanding the number, but what creates that number? Like, what are the factors that, they might be thinking about or don't know about that they should be aware of?
Okay, so the agencies calculate these scores for the lender's benefit. They are designed to protect the lenders, and they are not consumer friendly, okay? That's why it's essential that everyone make sure that the information is accurate, because the mistakes are literally endless. And we're looking at about 79% of reports contain inaccuracies, okay? So your creditworthiness is literally a mathematical model that was made and generated by different people, and it has a ton of mistakes. The factors that go into generating this score, there's 5 different factors. So they're going to look at 35% of the score is computed by your payment history.
Okay,
so
hold on, Kelly.
Your payments on time.
Hold on, I want to make sure.
Payments,
I want to make sure they're following you. So factor 1 was their payment history.
Yes, their payment history is about 35% of their score. So it counts up to 35%. So they're looking at their payments, making sure that they're making payments on time. One late payment can take 40 to 100 points off of your score.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. A bankruptcy can take up to 200. So pay your bills on time.
Right. All right. What's number 2 then?
Number 2 is the debt utilization, and that's going to be 30% of the score. And a lot of people misunderstand utilization. So, for example, if they have a credit card that's got $1,000 on it, you're going to want to keep that balance, that running balance on that card, less than 30%. So you're looking at a $300 maximum charge on that card, really at all times. You're going to want to use the card, but try to keep it under that 30% mark. That's where they love to see.
Because that basically demonstrates good consumer debt.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
That tells them, hey, I'm using my card, I'm responsible, I'm paying my bills on time, give me more points.
Okay, that's great. So what's number 3?
Number 3 is the length of history, okay? And that's 15%. Is the length of your history. They really want to see not only can you manage money well, but you can manage it over amount of time. So really 2 years is what they want to see as far as history goes on your credit report.
Gotcha. So is there a trick, let's say you're just getting started off and you're trying to build your credit, is there any tricks to get longer history?
Yes, there is.
Awesome.
You can always, and you just have to be careful, you can become a user on someone else's, like your mom or your dad or an aunt or uncle. They can actually add you to their card, and it will show up on your credit. All of their history will be given to you. You just want to make sure that whomever you're choosing is obviously someone that can be trusted. You don't want it to mess up your utilization. So just be careful with doing that.
Yeah, that they're actually
they're
actually a good credit user, not somebody that you're going to be on there, and the next thing you know, you're getting all the bad off of them.
Exactly. Like, Mom, come on, pay the mortgage. Like, you're killing me.
Right. All right, so what's number 4 then?
Number 4 is your inquiries, okay? So these are the hard inquiries that you're going to place when you go to apply for a credit card or you go to apply for an auto loan. This doesn't count you checking your own personal score, okay? So this is the lenders, the mortgage brokers. These are the people that are hitting a hard inquiry on your credit. And that's what they're going to look at. Now, it's going to hit you kind of hard in the beginning. Eventually, it will, the impact won't be so hard. 6 months is usually how long it takes for those inquiries to not really have a huge effect. But it is 10% of your score, so it's not a huge amount. But you definitely want to make sure that you're not just applying for credit willy-nilly, that you actually do keep some sort of consistency as far as the amount that you're applying for.
Okay, and here's the thing, it's all about, there's so many pieces to this puzzle, right? And it's being able to do it correctly the right time. And, and I even talk to people where they're like, well, I don't really like to use credit. I don't like to use credit. And if I use credit and then all of a sudden my score goes down. But at the same time, them not using their credit hurts them too. And so it's like, okay, it may...
It's kind of an old school model. People say, oh, cash is better, cash is king. I don't use credit, I don't trust them, and believe me, I completely get all of those things. But if you do not use your credit, it will hurt you in the long run. You've got to show them that you're a responsible consumer.
And I think they're nervous because they, when let's say you make a big purchase on a credit, well, yeah, your utilization goes up, and so therefore you might get hit some points because of that. But as you start to pay that down, your score goes back up and you have that history of showing that you can manage that debt.
Absolutely. Things are constantly changing. It's constantly being updated. And so the score, people say, oh, well, this one shows here and this one shows there. They're all going to be very, very different. They all use different mathematical algorithms to generate that score for you. So it's constantly changing. Just make sure you're making really good decisions and smart decisions financially, and it will all balance out and continue to go up.
Well, and there's also the other side of it, which I've done and do to this day, is like if I let's say I'm using a credit card and I'm purchasing something and I'm over that 30, 50, 60%, balance on that card, it's super quick. If I know that I'm trying to get something else and I need a higher credit score, I will call those credit card companies and say, look, I need you to raise my balance. And I need you to raise not my balance, but my limit. I need you to raise my limit.
Every 6 months. Absolutely, call them. They want to give you more credit. And if it helps your utilization over the long run, then it's a win-win.
Right. And so it's like Kelly just said, every 6 months, call them up and say, look, I want you to raise my limits. And let's say you've got a $10,000 card and you've spent $6,000 on it. Call them up and say, look, I want $20,000. Now I'm at that $6,000 on a $20,000 card. It just starts to give you better reporting and better scoring. And so those are, did we go through all 5 or did we just stop on 4?
We stopped on 4. Number 5 is the types of credit that you've got on your reports, okay? And it's only 10%, but they really want to see a variety of accounts on your credit report. You're going to want to have a mortgage. You're going to want to have an auto loan. You're going to want to have at least 3 credit cards. That's going to give you a well-rounded report and show them that you can manage different types of loans and different types of finances.
Gotcha. Here's the other side of it. Once they start doing this and they start getting their credits higher, like really it's unlimited amount of what they can go after with lines of credits, low interest rate, 0 interest rate loans and credit cards and business lines. I mean, once they get this worked out and really hire a professional that knows what they're doing to do it, really the financial opportunity is kind of unlimited, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it's very unlimited, and I'll tell you guys this, if you've never heard of or know nothing about corporate credit or business credit, we're going to need to have a conversation because it literally puts more money in your pocket and your access than you would know what to do with. It is an unlimited amount of financing.
Yeah, didn't you were telling me a story about how when you started getting this all done, you were able to get your business off the ground, go out and lease 2 luxury vehicles. I mean, you just started rolling big time, didn't you?
Yes. I have been very, very, very blessed. I was able to get over $100,000 in credit just in the first 3 to 4 months. And yes, I did get 2 company vehicles, luxury vehicles.
I like how you clarify that. I like how you clarify that, company vehicles.
Yes, they are. Well, they're under my business name. So, yeah, so it doesn't show up on my personal credit. So that utilization on most of those accounts doesn't affect me personally.
Got it. Awesome. Yeah. So here, listen to this, guys. We're gonna go into a few questions, and then let's see what we got on here. So you can still hear me, Kelly?
I can.
Okay, great. So Steve's got a question. He says, I'm probably ahead, but don't necessarily have bad credit. But I don't have no loans or credit cards. Where do I start? He says. So he doesn't have bad credit, but he doesn't have any credit, meaning like he doesn't have credit cards or anything like that.
Okay. I have some really great websites that people can go to, and they can kind of look and see the different types of cards and what's going to be best and most beneficial for you and your lifestyle. However, I cannot ignore the fact that you're going to need to develop that business and start using your entity to generate those things. So it can be a corporate account, not a personal account.
Right.
And then they can kind of feed off one another, and it'll just be a quicker, everything will go faster.
Love it. Okay, let's go to another question. So I got one here from DC. Says, is there a difference between a car lease and a car loan for building credit? Which is better, or is it the same weight?
Now, the rates are going to be different. It isn't going to look different on your credit report. It's going to be the same. It's a loan no matter what. The lease is going to be the agreement that you have with that, with the car
Dealership.
company. So it's on your credit report, it's going to look the same.
Okay. So Diamond says, "What if you never had credit? Never had a credit card? Is this good or is this bad?" I think we already talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, it's bad. You definitely, especially for the young listeners, it's something that you're going to want to start. Now, for someone who doesn't have it at all, it's going to be difficult to establish those credit cards with the big name companies. So you might have to start with what's called a secured card. So literally what you're going to do is you're going to give your bank or whomever the company is, say $500, and that's what they're going to give you in your line of credit. So you're basically paying yourself in order to build your credit, and it's very fast and it's extremely effective. And I even know some special tricks to be able to make that $500 turn into $2,000 really, really quickly. So
right. So we got one from Meredith here. Meredith says, and I'm going to try to pull this a little closer to me. Ooh. All right. Meredith says, so for those of us who actually paid all of our bills with cash instead of using credit, even though all bills were paid, can't get a credit because we used cash. So she's basically answered her own question. That's right, Meredith. Yeah, you got to build that credit. You got to build that credit. And a lot of that has to do with getting your credit score correct. And remember, getting your credit score correct isn't just about the number. It has to do with all the inaccuracies that are on there that you may not even realize. And we're going to dig into more of this next Wednesday. A lot of that stuff, a lot of the myths, knowing your legal rights, and knowing the possibilities of what this is going to look like. So, Ignacio says, after you consolidate debt, what could be next step to improve the score? So he's saying he's consolidating all of his debt into one. What would be kind of a next step, for him to move his credit score up?
Okay, so as long as the utilization is going to be the biggest factor. So if he's consolidated, the best thing to do is pay it down. If there aren't any inaccuracies and there aren't any late payments or anything like that that's affecting his score, paying it down, paying the utilization down, making sure he's making his payments on time, that's really the biggest bang that he's going to get. But I'd have to look at his credit report to be able to see exactly what's going on and what might be affecting it.
I understand. And that's really true. It's like, a lot of times it just takes a professional to actually look at what's going on to say, hey, look, if you did this, this, and this, you could move up by 80 points or you could move up by 50 points. And you know what the best part is most people, they only need like 20 or 30 points added to be in a whole different bracket of interest rates.
Yes. A whole different bracket that's going to literally save you probably $25,000 to $35,000. So it's worth having a look and making sure that everything's accurate. I can promise you that the likeliness of it being wrong is up there because there's just the system. It's not consumer friendly. So they make more money having the mistakes and having you in a lower bracket. That's just the sad truth.
Yeah, it is the truth, though. That's the real truth. Hey, Don's got a question here. He says, "What's more important for my score: paying down debt or taking off negative marks?"
Oh my God, that's a tough question. It depends on how long the negative has been on there. So again, I don't want to not answer the question. If they're recent, it's going to be getting the negative removed. If they're much older, you're going to get more scores quicker by paying them down.
Gotcha. But so really, you just need to do both.
The negatives have to come off regardless, or you're never going to get those prime rates that everyone wants. But as far as what would I suggest that he do first? Again, I'd really have to figure out exactly what was going on.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, the answer to that is you should just do both, right?
Yeah, that's the easy answer. I know. I think you wanted a one or the other, and it unfortunately, ultimately you have to do both. What's more important to me is getting the negative removed because it's a reflection of your character, and I think it's most of the time is very inaccurate and it's very unfair.
Right. So Don's got a question here. He said, what should we do as our first moves to improve our credit? So his question is hey, look, if I'm going to improve my credit, what should the first thing I do? Well, Don, I'm going to give you the answer to that. You need to be back here next Wednesday because this is just part 1 of part 2. Okay, just part 1 of part 2. I'm going to bring, if you want me to bring Kelly back to dig more into this because we only stay on here for about an hour and we're pushing that, just let me know. Bring her back, Zach. Type it in there. Bring her back. Type that in there. Bring her back, Zach. If you want her to come back for next Wednesday, I'd love to hear you guys say that. So anyways, we got a couple more questions that have come in. It says, can you ask your landlord to report on your credit if you are in good standing with them? So he's wondering if he's renting, can he have his landlord report on his credit score that he's paying his rent on time? Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility, and yes, you just have to ask. I can't remember who it was that was talking about, I make all my, I pay all my bills and I pay them with cash. You still can get them, some of those companies to report for you. If they don't know how, they need to contact me and I'll tell them how. It's very easy.
Awesome.
But yes, they just need to ask.
So here's one from Michelle. She said, how much of an impact do students' loans have on your credit report?
Student loan is just the same as any other mortgage or auto loan. It's a loan is a loan is a loan. So it doesn't have a different weight factor. It's going to be that 10% of the type of credit. So
gotcha.
It's a factor for sure.
Yep. Jill jumped on here and said, Kelly helped me so much. I couldn't get my score out of the 600s, and now all the banks want to work with us, meaning her and her husband, as I am now in the 700s and have a Paydex for my business. That's awesome, Jill. Carly says, how about tax debt? How can you help people who owe money to the IRS? So you can't really help people who owe money, but really once the IRS says you owe us money and now we're going to ding your credit, is that something that, a specialist, a professional like yourself, looks at somebody and says, well, look, it may take time, but here's the things we could do to start getting that rid of? Or are they just rooted in on that thing because they're the IRS?
No. Here's the thing. They're just another entity, okay? So they're going to report their information. My suggestion is to make sure that all of the information that they have listed on your report is actually accurate, and it is the truth, literally from the time that the, whatever the account was made to the amount that we're looking at. Everything has to be accurate. Everything has to be perfect, or they need to remove it. So that would be the first step. And yes, you can do things about it if the situation is, is repairable. Sometimes, obviously you're going to have to pay it if everything is accurate and up to date. But most of the time, it's wrong.
I think you gave me an astonishing number about how much of it's wrong. I was blown away by that.
79%.
79% of credit reports are wrong. Like, think about that, guys. 79% of credit reports are wrong. They're wrong.
Isn't it? It's crazy. It infuriates me to think that the level of inaccuracies are allowed. It should piss you off. It really should. It pisses me off.
Yeah, when you told me that number, I was like, are you kidding me? But here's the thing: as consumers, as people, we don't know enough about it to know what to do. It's like this esoteric mystery out there that we don't know, and then when we start looking, it just becomes more complicated. And so it's like no one knows where to start. Hey, so Thomas has got a question. He said, "I just paid my student loan off. Does that have an impact? I was always on time."
Yes. Paying anything off, paying anything down, paying anything on time is going to impact it. It's going to take a little while for them to update it, but yes, once that's shown, that's going to change your utilization, and it is going to add your history. So absolutely.
Love it. Okay, listen, guys, we're coming up on the hour. I love that you guys have just been flooding this Facebook page with "Bring her back, bring her back, bring her back." You guys see why I got her on here. She's part of our expert team. She's part of our power team, right? She's got it dialed in, guys. She knows. We just barely scratched the surface today. So yes, I do want to bring her back next Wednesday. We'll bring her back on the Dig Deeper show. We'll cover things like what are the myths, like what are the misbeliefs out there. That's something I want to ask her about. I also want to talk to her about the legal rights and the endless possibilities. And I really want to dig into understanding, your options. What are your options? What can you do? I want to dig into that on the next week's call about your credit, fixing your credit, and the key is this. It's not so much about fixing your credit, but it's about understanding it and really getting the right person that can guide you through that and help you do that. And so many of you on here obviously want to hear more from Kelly, and I think that's wonderful. And I think that's great. You guys are obviously seeing it too. So, and a lot of you want to talk to her more. We'll talk about that next Wednesday. I mean, she's not a big operation, which means that's good. She's very selective on how much she takes on because, she works with people personally, and we'll get into more of that. I just want you guys to have some time to learn and understand what we're doing here with Kelly. The other thing is next week when you come on the Dig Deeper show with Kelly, we have a special gift for you, and she has actually written a book on this topic. And if you guys all come back on next week, we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to see how many people share the stream, and those people who share the stream next week, we're going to give you a free copy of her book, a digital download of it. But you got to be on next week. You got to get people on there. You got to share it next week. You got to share it this week. I'm looking for those who share it this week and share it next week and get the message out there. All of those who do that, I will be giving you a free copy of Kelly's book on understanding and fixing your credit. And what are your options? You really have 3 options on fixing your credit. And she talks about it in her book, and you want a copy of her book. I've read it. It's super powerful, and it's uplifting. It gives you hope, and it really gives you some clear understanding at the end on what are your options. What are the 3 options that you can do? And so I think that's important. And so be here next Wednesday on our Dig Deeper show. We're going to bring Kelly back on for part 2. And I'm looking for those who share the message. You got to share it to get the book. And then I'll give you one other way to get a copy of the book at the end of the interview next Wednesday. So, Kelly, I love you to pieces. I think it's wonderful we're doing this and you're on here. And obviously the people love you on here. They are just tooting it up about you right now.
I love you, and I love them as well, and believe me, it's just such an honor, and I cannot wait to come back next week.
That's awesome. So, guys, this is your real estate investing coach, Zack Childress. You missed our real estate investing talk show yesterday. Go back and watch it. It's on Facebook. This is our Dig Deeper show. This is where we bring one of our expert team members on, an expert that we interview, we dig deeper with to help you build your business. We've had Kelly on here today. I'm going to call her the credit repair queen because she is a queen, and we're all kings and queens, and she knows what she knows, and she's in this business to win it and to help all you guys. So I'm going to bring her back on next week for part 2. Remember, if you want her book, if you want to get a download version of her book, on the 10 things that we're going to be talking about in this interview process and more in depth, you need to share this stream. You need to share it with other people, and you need to be on next week, and you need to share it next week, and then I will give you one other way to get a copy of it next week when we jump back on. So anyways, guys, this is Kelly and Zack Childress with you today in the Dig Deeper show. I'll see you guys tomorrow with Zack in the Field. Don't forget about that. Zack in the Field, 12:30 Eastern Central, 1:30 Central time zone. We're going to go in the field. We're going to look at a deal that one of our coaching students has, and we're going to walk through it, and I'm going to take you by the hand and show you what to look at with a property in the field. So, Zack Childress, I'm out. See you guys. Bye now.